we often focus, and rightly so to an extent, on our back muscles for posture. That is really important. But also what we often neglect is our scapula, our shoulder blades, because if they're kind of blocked and not moving, they should just move freely on the back. Essentially, they're attached to the front here. They should glide across the back. And if they don't, we can end up kind of with this quite fixed position here, and the shoulder blades can't move and we can't kind of reach very well. And that can sort of prevent us almost kind of opening up a little bit and getting the shoulder blades to just sit on the back where they need to be sitting to enable us to have that good posture. So we're going to look at a couple of exercises to help us there. Floating arms, really simple, just sort of tuning into what the shoulder blades are doing. All these exercises we're going to do standing feet hip width distance apart, and we're going to find that nice length. So think of a little thread attached to the crown of the head. As you inhale, it just lifts you up, and you keep that height as you exhale. Shoulders are relaxed, the rest of the body's relaxed. So from here, we're going to float the arms out and up towards the ceiling and down again. So my arms are going to stay slightly in front of me, nothing else moves. I'm going to reach them up or float them up and down. And I am sort of looking to have this work, not kind of a sense of lifting from here, have a sense of length, and that kind of from the armpit all the way down what I might call the seam of the arm up to the little finger. A nice stretch. So inhale and exhale. And one last thing I want you to think about when you're doing this is the shoulder blades. So as you're reaching the arms out, can you maybe try and cue into the tip of the shoulder blade, kind of coming up or out and up and back down again. So can you feel the shoulder blades moving on the back? Windows is a really good exercise for mobilizing through the scapula, through the shoulder blades, and having a sense of widening through the front of the body. We start feet hip width distance apart, standing nice and tall. Float the arms forwards. I'm going to keep the hands or the arms just lower than the shoulder blades the whole time. Nothing moves through the body, through the torso. Bend the elbows. You're bringing them back as far back as they can go without lifting the chest or arching the back. And then keeping the elbows where they are, you're going to rotate into a hands up position. And then reach up to the ceiling and float them forwards. That's one rep. So it's a bend, widening through the collarbones, having a sense of the shoulder blades kind of just moving towards each other. Rotate. Can you feel the shoulder blades kind of moving, sort of pointing downwards on the back here almost? And again, I'm staying nice and tall. And then reach. I want a sense of length from the hip to the armpit, from the armpit all the way along the outside of that arm, and or both arms and back. So it's a bend, rotate, reach and up. So all the time, this neck and top of the shoulder should stay nice and relaxed. The shoulders will be working, but that's what we're going to do. Inhale, exhale, inhale and exhale. YTWL is a great exercise to get right into the shoulders and get a bit of more mobility through the shoulder blades. And we're going to do this in a squat position. So we're just going to work a little bit on the hips. Bonus. So hinge into your nice squat position here. We're going to keep a nice neutral spine, so that includes the neck, so don't let the neck either drop down or look forward. So long, nice, natural curves. We're going to hold that position, that's not going to move, we're just going to move our arms around that. So we'll start with a Y. We're going to reach for all of these exercises, right? So I'm going to float the arms up, as high as I can without disturbing the spine and the torso, and then down, and then T. I'm going to float them out into a T, so the shoulder blades kind of come together a little bit, and down. W, like holding a book, so thumbs pointing out, and then I'm just going to float the elbows up, and then float them down, bring the arms back down, palms face back. We're going for an L, which is a bit like a scarecrow. I'm going to float the elbows up, I'm going to rotate down and down. So floating the arms forwards and up, and reaching up as high as I can without any movement through the spine. T, float the arms out and down. And W, similar movement but a bit different in the shoulders. And L, elbows up, rotate down and down. One more. Y, inhale and down, and T and W and L. Rotate. Down, down. Then press the floor away. Come back into that standing position. So feet really grounding into the floor. That crown of the head lifting as you inhale. Keep that height as you exhale. Make sure the rest of the body is relaxed. So work on those exercises to get your shoulder blades moving nicely across back freely, essentially. Everybody has a different sort of amount of movement, but what we don't want is for them to be totally blocked.